Hello. All right, I'm just waiting for Zolo to file in here. It's me, Calliope. This should be a fun night. We already got 10 viewers in here. This is like probably the most active live stream we've had ever. I'm not sure if anything's working, so if one person could write a message in chat, I'll know we're actually live. So yeah, once I get Zolo in here, don't expect like blood sports specifically, but it'll be a debate. Golden win. Okay. This is not going to be a JoJo episode. So yeah, I'll just explain some context if people aren't familiar with Zolo. But he's been a member of Weeb Revolution in the past, like a year ago specifically, and he had a break from the channel because that's when he started watching a lot of infrared, and as you know, they lean to the patriotic socialist direction, which yeah, Cherry Boy, yeah, I hope you brought snacks for this one. It's gonna be quite the show. Peanuts preferably, and throw them at your screen. Okay, that's my recommendation. Yeah, but he actually went on like a rampage and started banning people from our Discord server. And after that, like I forget if he was banned or kicked, but like he was already kind of on his way out. So he didn't really agree with our community. But we're gonna break down this tendency. Oh, Zolo, you're in the chat. Get in the call. You're in the chat, but you're not here. So I don't know. I'm just gonna fill the time. So, is anyone? What are people's thoughts on JoJo Part 6? No spoilers. Yeah, Zolo's just gonna debate by typing in text. Are you gonna be a few minutes? Let me know. I can stall for more time. I can't believe there's 3 cores of Part 6, and they're dividing them up by 6 months. It's insane. I'm so angry. Like the main appeal of JoJo was that every week there would be a new episode. It would be chaotic, and then people would edit memes. And for the entire week, all you see is JoJo memes. And now we have a core being released every 6 months where they don't even advertise it's coming out. And by the time it comes out, no one cares. No one even wants to edit memes. And Stone Ocean seems like a really good part. Like, I mean, I would almost put it over Golden Win. So Zolo, when are you actually hopping in voice? Do you see the Discord? Yeah, Green Juche, it came out, and Netflix was too busy advertising some other property. I forget what. I mean, Cyberpunk Edge Runner's got really good marketing. It seems like a lot of people are talking about it, and it's a good show. But Did anyone talk about Stone Ocean Part 2? No. Nobody. Stone Ocean has very interesting theological implications. I'm not. I mean, maybe if I read how the plot continues in the next part, I'd understand. I mean, I could kind of see what you're saying, but hey, Zolo, I think I might
Yo,
be.
who are you talking to?
We're talking to you,
Who else?
just you, Zolo.
Who else?
Um, I was gonna show you some clips, and then Winter Prison will join. Uh, he
Because
doesn't
I
have
see
to.
Cherry in the chat.
Oh, Cherry's just gonna be in the chat. I'm not. I don't think I'm inviting him in the call. I don't think he even wants to be on the call.
Okay, good. Because
Would you
I
have? Would you
just
have? You would have problems if he was on. Like I wasn't planning to put him on the
no,
show.
I wouldn't have problems. It's more just like I don't know. I feel like it's weird that he's here.
It's fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. I mean, honestly, I'm ready for this. So I've been preparing for this for a long time. So I always knew
I
this
I
would.
bet I feel like you've been prepared for an entire year, and then I just put it off. But that's mainly because the YouTube channel was dead. I just didn't have any good ideas, and I started working full time. So that's my
Yeah,
excuse.
yeah, yeah. It's understandable.
So you just want to
Yeah,
get into it and just
it's
start watching the Ben Norton clips from Multiparista.
let's see. Sure.
Okay, let's start with the first clip because I feel like this one is just like why MAGA communism is just completely flawed. Like, all right, let's just watch the clip and then we can discuss.
Half of the U.S. capitalist class. There can never be anything progressive, yet alone revolutionary or anti-hegemonic or anti-systemic about MAGA. Quite literally, it is a campaign slogan linked at the umbilical cord to Donald Trump. When they say MAGA, they mean we support Donald Trump. You can't separate that from Donald Trump. He literally coined the term. He literally put it on his hats that he sold in his campaign site and used it to run for president. Okay, now let's talk about Donald Trump himself. The idea that all white workers in the United States support Donald Trump is preposterous. It is completely ridiculous. All right, in 2016, in the presidential election, there was 56% voter turnout. 56% voter turnout. That means 44% of eligible voters did not participate. That's not including the large numbers of people in the United States who have been disenfranchised, especially disproportionately Black people.
Okay, so I mean, there's a stream delay, so I'll just summarize for you, Zolo, and then maybe we can find a better way to do this. But
No, I
the
know this one. This is the one where he talks about MAGA being a slogan and not a movement, which to an extent I would agree with. I would
yeah,
agree with that. It is more a slogan than it is a movement.
you told me
And I
beforehand
would,
that you're not like in love with the MAGA idea, so maybe that's not like our major point of contention. But the
I
patriotic
definitely
socialism
don't like.
point is, I
I
think.
definitely do not like the turn of MAGA communism. I think it's honestly, I just think it's trying to hitch its wagon to another whatever slogan or whatever, and try and capitalize on that sort of
Because
momentum,
well,
which might be good for engagement, but it's not necessarily good for education or whatever.
yeah, one of the major accusations against infrared right now is that, and like Jackson Hinkle and the like, and all those people, is that they're clout chasers. And chasing a slogan is exactly what that is doing. And eventually they're
Yeah,
just going to move on to a new slogan, right?
yeah, I think MAGA communism, I think, is honestly just it's like a J-rag type thing, like where you're just literally like taking the most off the wall type of syncretic elements of what appear to be radical politics, and you're trying to smash them together and whatever. I think that there are elements of whatever Trump's platform or whatever. I know he didn't deliver on anything or whatever, like the swamp draining. I think that's really good too. I've got some clips from Midwestern Marks that we could watch too.
Okay,
Um, that's
sure, we
sort
can
of
watch those.
Midwestern Marks is like sort of like they're like the middle. They're like the
I'm really not
true.
familiar with them, so I'll be interesting to hear what they say.
They're like the true center of this like debate, where they're like, um, and I gotta say that like I really don't like. I don't like what Jackson's doing. I don't like what direction he's heading in.
Yeah, can we
The
just
Andrew
like get
Tate
into his
shit.
background real quick because it's actually really questionable.
And
I
yeah, the
don't
fact
know
that
how you feel.
he doesn't have a strong ideological backing. He used to be a Democrat a year ago.
Yeah,
He's probably
and
honestly he's riding the momentum of Haas. That's all he's doing. Is like every talking point he's
is it
taking is from
is
Haas.
Haas is he
Every
riding
one
the
of them.
momentum of Haas or is Haas riding the momentum of Jackson Hinkle? Because Jackson Hinkle is getting around more. Like he's
Haas is the brain of Jackson Hinkle, and that's not necessarily bad necessarily because I think Hinkle is a journalist first and foremost, and what do I mean by that is he's not somebody who's involved in theory, whereas Haas studies philosophy. Haas is a student of that sort of stuff.
because
Um,
let's get into that clip. Wait. Uh because as we know, Jackson Hinkle failed running as a Democrat in 2019 for I think his local community in San Clemente, California. And
yeah, yeah.
we could pull up this article. I just find it interesting because this is like in 2019. It wasn't like that long ago, and he was like literally 19. But like that community itself was
Exactly.
saying,
He's so young. He's
yeah.
so young.
So I agree what you're saying.
He's
He
so
is
young.
not the brain. He's literally
He is
following
not the
incorrect
brain.
thought. And
The weird thing is, like
but he's a
with Jackson
better.
Hinkle, is you could say he's like since Jackson's most of his audience comes from Jimmy Dore, and Jimmy Dore's audience is very old. So it's sort of like with the like that gold thing or whatever that he did with Ron Paul or shit.
Mhm.
Like that's honestly like that's targeting vulnerable old people maybe. So I don't necessarily like
The Jimmy Dore rejects are falling for the gold campaign and buying loads of gold. I mean,
the
there's
Jimmy
worse
Dore
things you could
people.
probably do, but that's kind of up there and like wasting your money, I'd say. Especially like how much of a scam like trading silver and gold are. I mean, if you just like buy it, whatever, but I don't know. It sounds like a huge scam. So yeah, like in 2019, I don't know specifically what platform he is running on, but like even this person who was praising him in an editorial was saying Jackson Hinkle is going to restore public safety by addressing homelessness, the homelessness crisis in that community. And I don't know. There's a lot of heat in this comments, but a lot of people being mad he's called a socialist, and also people saying he's fiscally conservative, and he's just like such an opportunist in my opinion, and all he does is just network, really. That's like probably his main strength and not like ideas.
Sorry, I had to do something. I'm back though.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I and especially the Andrew Tate shit. I at least Haas took a good stand on that, but the weird, but
What
just
fill me in on the
anything,
Andrew Tate. Is it important? Oh, he's that
any
alpha male
positive,
guy. Oh my gosh.
uh, any
He
positive endorsement.
that's such a shitty position. He was actually like endorsing that like mindset, right? For a
Yeah,
minute.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like
I was planning on debating you a little, but like you do have reasonable positions in your own mindset, so it's kind of hard to debate you when you are also opposed to this like random Andrew Tate worship. Like that's like the main.
No, I hate Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is like the worst. And Samira, oh my god, I hate Samira too.
The problem with the syncretic like politics is that you end up endorsing people like Andrew Tate and gold instead of promoting real scientific politics. we need.
Yeah, well, he's going along with the current, and that's sort of. I feel like I don't know. We'll see what happens when he goes to
Yeah,
Trump rally.
is my Rezus one of your friends, Zolo? Can you just I might have to time you out, but just like stop making messages every second. You can make a message every like minute if you want. Otherwise, I will time you out.
But I definitely do not like the how I put it is like it's 70-30, right? How I put it is like it's but with Hinkle I really don't know, because I feel like a lot of it is just he's apparently like he was with Hassan or whatever. I don't know enough about Hinkle to really give a.
It's just let's get more into these
definitive
clips
opinion.
because it's I don't know. I don't even know what to think. Let's just watch more clips. It's just crazy.
Wait, what are we watching?
We're watching the clip Black and White, the Lesser Evil, because the problem is that like these MAGA communists are just engaging too much with the current duopoly of capitalist imperialists, and I think that's just naive in general. So let's just watch that clip. You can watch it at the same time so you're not delayed.
Okay.
Literally 3 years ago, running for office on a mainstream liberal democratic platform, literally in 2019. Okay? So why are we not talking about the tens of millions or potentially over 100 million people in the United States, working class people who are disenfranchised, who don't believe in the political process, who recognize correctly that both ruling class capitalist imperialist parties do not serve their working class interests? Why are people instead doing a reverse lesser evilism? And this to me, Danny, is incredible, because what they're doing is exactly what the social democrats were doing in the past 10 years, is to say we have to vote Democrat because they're lesser evil. All these so-called MAGA communists, who are not communists in any way, according to any consistent definition of the term, they're not even socialists.
Okay,
These
I
people are doing the
absolutely agree
exact
with
opposite.
them.
They're doing a reverse lesser evilism.
That's
They're
another
saying,
thing that I think is misguided about the current direction of them. And the other thing about them is trying to steer Haas or any of that crowd, into a more correct position is impossible. They're going to have to find their own way to the correct position, if they're going to find that way.
And
I think there is. Yeah,
well, I'm just
it's
gonna
one
say
of
it's
those things
become
where
even
it's
more
like,
chaotic now. Like this is just I'll just say it like it is. They're literally a Mongol horde at this point, as they self-proclaim.
oh yeah,
to
they're
be.
definitely a horde.
And like
They're
because
definitely a horde.
Infrared's banned from
Yeah.
Twitter, and would you ascribe yourself as now an Infrared thought leader? I don't know. What would you ascribe yourself as, Zolo?
They have official rankings now.
They have official rankings, so you don't make it. You don't make the cut.
No, I mean, well, I'm apparently like they do it by like how many follow. The point is, look, I recognize that Infrared has flaws, and one of those flaws is playing into this. I get it, like as a slogan to like whatever shock
Yeah, that's
left
all it is. It's shock
liberals, whatever.
value,
That's all it is. That's all it is. Yes,
and
that's
it is for
exactly what
that
it is.
engagement.
It's
And
just
they're just, it's just insane. I
yeah,
just want to get to like the main
crazy how
reason.
much engagement you get. Oh,
If you
it's
don't understand
crazy.
the main reason why this suddenly occurred, like this week, all this leftist drama happened this week, and that's because of Haas's decision to start this MAGA communism trend. And the reason he said the main reason is after his response to the reaction on Twitter to the death of Daria Dugina. And the
Well,
car bombing.
I think Daria Dugan. I honestly think that's one thing that I will stand by is like my positions on Dugan. It's like
Yeah,
if
we're
you
gonna
look at the
have to get into
way
that though. But
why Like, what do you think's wrong? You think Daria Dugan deserved to die?
No, obviously not. I mean, that's one of the
Because
problems
Ben
though,
Norton
is that
does.
people
Ben Norton does. Because
Ben
Ben
Norton.
Norton does.
Oh, he does. Is that
Yeah.
is
He
that
said
something
he
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 tweeted
said he
about as
hopes
well?
he said he hopes that Dugan suffers and dies a painful death.
I mean, I can't really support that. The problem here is
I mean, I get it too. It's
my
like it's
problem
one of those
is
things where
that
it's like you say that like almost like unwittingly. You say that almost unthinkingly, you know?
my problem is like,
So
what does Haas represent for Russia? Nothing. He's not Russian. So what? How is he to make the claim that this is all for Daria Dugina, his like new MAGA communism trend? It's obviously not, and I feel like that is also just disrespectful. Not to the extent of like being glad that Alexander Dugin is like in obviously a horrible spot. We should wish on nobody, but it's kind of up there and it like abusing the situation for clout.
well, I mean, I feel like MAGA communism is just kind of like it was just sort of the next evolution. It was almost like
Because,
a
the
natural
problem
like
is that MAGA communism, like I said, is a slogan, and it's endorsing
and
a
yeah, it's a
white
dumb slogan
nationalist
and whatever.
capitalist leader who, as pointed out in this live stream we've been watching clips of, like Donald Trump was the lead, like the person probably pushed for Qasem Soleimani to get assassinated. Like that was his decision
He
at the end
did.
of the day.
That was his choice.
Oh, hey,
He
Winter
had
Prison.
several options. Hey,
I
Kalai.
was gonna
Hey,
be more
Zolo.
one-on-one with Zolo for now, but sure, you can input. Just
Oh,
try
yeah,
not.
yeah. Donald Trump was the one who okayed the assassination of
Yeah,
Soleimani.
that and like
Look,
we
he's a president. Of course, he made mistakes, and
No.
he
What?
was bad overall. Is what I'm trying to say. Whatever.
Of
I'm
course.
trying to get that across. Okay, I don't like MAGA communism as a slogan. I think there's a lot better things that we could be doing, and I think this is just trying to take advantage of liberals' hysteria, which you could say is, I mean, it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, how do you win in the attention economy, right? So you just take MAGA and you slap communism on it, and you get like weird liberals being like, oh, Trump is just like Stalin and Mao and Xi, whatever. And it's like, you know, and then you get some people who are like legitimately like worried about this development. Um, it's sort of a re-territory. What it's attempting to do is trying to reorient communism away from what it has become
What do you mean by that?
in the West.
What do you mean
yeah,
by that?
that's
What I mean by
specifically what
that
Haas
is,
said is that he's trying to put a new perspective, yeah,
yeah,
on
what it's
communism and
become,
socialism, which
what it's become
is
in the West is like, I don't know if you've seen that Stone Toss whatever comic where like there's like a dude or whatever
I
who's like
don't read Stone
an
Toss
oil,
comics.
I don't read, but it's an obvious one. You'll know it when I describe it. There's like a dude or whatever who's like an oil worker who's like, there's someone with a hammer and sickle shirt or whatever who's like, oh, I'm with the working class, and then there's like somebody like dressed in like an oil whatever shit, and he's like, well, shucks or whatever something with us, and like he puts out his hand or whatever, and the dude with the hammer and sickle shirt looks at him like, you know, like he's, you know, a basket full of deplorables or whatever, basically. So that I get that we want to appeal to what we see in our minds as a proletariat worker, whatever. But I also think that appeals too much to the idea of what a proletariat is. One of the big things that I've always said with Oz is, or whatever, one of the things that always gets me in trouble with his community or whatever is that they hate anime. And I know
yeah.
this is like a very stupid,
That's
like,
why I'm so surprised that you've been here following Infrared for this long. Is that they objectively hate you, for having an anime profile picture, and you
Yeah.
That's,
are like
some things are too important to let go of.
But why?
Some things
Wait,
Literally,
wait, what
Zolo,
do you
there is
mean?
no reason to be a part of this
Yeah.
movement when they hate you objectively. Like you,
Yeah,
you will
they
be the
hate
first.
you.
If Jackson Hinkle becomes president, you will be the first one in the camps for having an anime profile picture.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to talk. I also have an anime profile pic.
Me too.
So
Me
yeah,
too.
no, we all
doomed.
do. So
Yes,
it's
I
like
know.
we are all in the firing range. Like, I don't know why you
part
would
of that
stand
is
for
you have
that.
to not be intimidated by that idea that they are whatever going to come for you with an anime profile picture. That's so ridiculous, and
But they do that though.
they're not going to do that.
I mean,
They're
at
not going to
least,
do that,
at least in their
They're
own
not gonna get
spaces, they
power.
do that.
and they're not going to get in power and whatever. And
Wait, if
fucking
they're not going to get in power,
hunt
then
you
what's the
down.
point of supporting them?
Yeah,
They will.
We'll bring up
The
that
point
point.
is-
Is that are they the ones tailing the masses, or like, because that's a
Well,
big
that's the reason.
argument.
Like I said, I don't really like this. Whatever. I think MAGA
We'll bring up
communism
that
is.
clip. Let's just watch the clip on. Are they? Is MAGA communism just a third position? We'll watch that clip.
Sure.
All right. This will get into the talesman issue. If this video would load, okay.
Jeez.
I guess 4 tabs are too
Capitalism in
much.
decay. Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Fascism is
it
also
happens.
a little more complicated.
How are you doing, Zolo?
Fascism has always been syncretic
I'm good.
in the sense that
Okay,
Oh.
so
fascists have
I've
always
seen
willingly
this. I've
tried
seen
to
this,
co-opt
and
and exploit
this is basically
and
like
distort
trying to put
elements of
the
the left.
well, there's
and
sort of
combine
like
it with-
Nosballs or whatever, like type of thing, which honestly, I sort of get. It's become the I mean, like like a lot of people like Vosh, whatever, say fascism is a vibe. Fascism is a vibe, and they certainly do have a vibe about them at Infrared. They certainly do have a vibe.
One of the most interesting comments that Ben Norden made in this live stream is when he said that Infrared with this new MAGA communism thing is now becoming the inverse of Bosch. And that sounds so accurate. Like, they're both streamers, but like that is now all Haas is to me, is a inverse of Vosh. Like the same way Vosh supports the Democratic Party and everything Biden does. That at this point, that is what Haas will do if Trump gets reelected. Is he will support every action Trump makes. I mean, so far he's been critical of some things, but like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if he's overall in support of this.
Okay,
turnout.
so what? Okay, so what MAGA communism is supposed to be is, remember how we were all like during the Bernie campaign, we were like, well, maybe if Bernie fails, and
The
that
Bernie
will let us-
campaign is what made me a communist.
yeah, Bernie did a lot of whatever, but the point is, what MAGA communism is sort of supposed to be too is that by not, we know that Trump is going to fail. We know that MAGA
Yeah.
is going to let their constituents down.
Of
We
course. I
we
mean, they
know
already
that. Yes,
did.
exactly. That's the idea.
But
Is that
I
we-
don't see the outgrowth from there, though.
Uh,
You go on, Zolo. Go
no,
on.
I mean, like that's the idea. Is the man, I'm trying to think of the clip where I saw it and whatever. But the point is that we know that bourgeois politicians are going to promise and fail to deliver, and that people are going to remember who stood by them and who believed in them and whatever, and who didn't thumb their nose at them or whatever. So that's sort of like what it is in a broader sense. I still don't really, because they're on Truth Social now. A lot of them, because they're on Truth Social.
Yeah,
But
I don't
like,
know
I've
what
only
that
heard,
means.
I've only heard
So-
word about that platform, but I'm going to assume that it is as bad as people say it is. I'm just going to assume that. because I know how bad third-party platforms are.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Like third-party
Generally
platforms
speaking.
are literally all the worst people who got banned for legitimate reasons. We could
Yeah,
argue
they're all there for legitimate reasons. But that's the thing is like on Twitter, like I'm always telling them like, man, what are we doing on here? We're just trying to scare liberals. You should be going to these conspiraboomer, these conspiraboom. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to get out there,
No,
man.
I've tried that, and
No,
that
I'm
has
saying, but I'm saying
resulted in failure.
they have to see the failure of that before they can come around. They have to see how futile.
But like it's already
So
failed
that's an
multiple times,
accelerationist
and nothing.
argument. Yes.
None of their opinions, from my perspective, have really changed, even despite Trump's obvious failures as is.
No,
Like
they haven't.
Like your
They haven't
your
changed.
argument, Zolo, is that because Trump is going to fail probably every election, like that seems likely, judging by all
No,
the
not every
legal.
election. Not every election. Like when he gets in power, he was going to fail to deliver on any of his promises. And
He already did that.
Yeah, he already
yeah,
did
he already
that.
did do that. He already did do
So
that.
then, what's the
thing
point
is,
of talesmanning this slogan and making this third position when this has already failed? Like obviously,
Yeah, it's already failed. Yeah.
I know. There's probably there's a voter demographic that is still in this position, but like they obviously have not changed and they're staying that way. So as Ben Norden points out, and like the voter demographics show, we should target people who didn't vote and aren't in this.
Yeah, the people
system.
who didn't vote, that's the real demographic that we should target, because they know the system doesn't work. They know the system has failed.
And Zolo, you have an anime profile picture. You should be reaching out to people who watch anime and don't care about politics, because that's the most likely people.
Those are the people who don't vote.
Yeah,
those are the people who don't vote.
Instead of actively like engaging with the infrared community that hates you, you should use your anime knowledge to reach the people who don't care about politics to begin with.
Well, see, the thing is, what I'm trying to do.
Those are the ones you're most able to recruit from.
Well, see, the thing is, what I want to be able to do is take some of the more philosophical insights.
What do you mean by philosophical?
My reasons. I just want to point out that, yeah, Mecha Tenki sounds cool and all, but they hate mecha anime, which makes no sense, because where does mecha originate? No, it's anime.
Sense.
It's like, you're going to find Mecha Tenkis in anime, and
exactly. I know, it's just so wrong.
Like if you're going to make a clip on YouTube to promote Mecha Tenkis, you're going to animate anime clips. It's going to be an AMV and it's going to be hype. But
okay, so what is fascism? Okay, so I've got the one that Caleb uses.
Oh God, let's not even get into that.
No, like I mean,
yeah, I don't know if we want to even talk about the failure of CPI. Do we? I don't know.
What I meant was the book that
I don't want to.
He uses.
Yeah, it's just not fun.
Well,
no.
I will say, I just want to make clear that I used to have like channel recommendations at the bottom of our channel, and one was Caleb Moppin. I'm not gonna lie, and we referenced him in several videos, but that was purely like just like politics stuff. Like him as a person, I've lost complete respect for. So, and I removed my channel recommendations in general, because there's so many people that like I lost respect for, not just Caleb Moppin, that were in that channel recommendations.
Yeah, no, there have been a few,
There have been quite a few people I've lost respect for. So that's just gone. I'm not recommending any channel anymore, just our own. To be egotistical, but that's how it is.
No.
What I was trying to say is the one that Moppin refers to for his definition of fascism, which is R. Palm Dult's Fascism and Social Revolution in 1934. Which, you could argue is a bit dated, but let's see, what is fascism? Let's see. 1, the basic aim of the maintenance of So let's see. The question is now.
What is this called again?
It's called Fascism and Social Revolution. Rajani Palmdot.
Okay. So you're just going to quote a definition from this book?
Okay. So, what are characteristics which are in common, subject to a difference? And so the question is infrared fascist? Well, we could say that supporting MAGA does make him fascist in a sense, and supporting Trump or giving even lip service to Trump and giving credence to Trump as a viable figure,
They're at least...
I'd call that reactionary.
Yeah, they're at least being cozy with the people who are already in favor of stuff like that. Like, I don't think infrared, like Ben Norden accuses, is specifically targeting white nationalists. I feel like they're just targeting people in general. But, like, it's obvious that, like, white nationalists are going to be the ones who react the strongest to the message they're currently going for. Because that is the base of MAGA. And I don't think that's really debatable.
Yes, it is.
Well, I think one of the funniest things about this is, like, I was trying to make work on the other day with MAGA communism. It's like, right when Donald Trump started running or whatever, there were a bunch of, like, rhino Republicans or whatever who said, oh, the only people who support Donald Trump are a bunch of 30-year-old men who watch anime, waifus and shit or whatever.
What do you mean by rhino Republicans? What do you mean by that?
Establishment Republicans who are against Trump. I guess you could say even MAGA Republicans are pro-Trump.
Yeah, that's definitely a group of people. Yeah, I know what you mean now.
So I think, yeah, like
no, but that's a very small group. That's like a teeny minority.
Okay, so
they were much larger back before Trump even won, though.
So
yeah, when the Tea Party was popular, they had their biggest like power.
So one of the things with infrared is with their bourgeois, and they acknowledge, like, whatever, both bourgeois parties are fascist parties or whatever. But one of the things that, like, they'll like, and this is like sort of like the accusation here that sort of Norton makes to infrared, where he says, oh, they're just doing lesser evilism with the Republican Party, which they sort of are, but because, okay, so in the duopoly, there is the big bourgeoisie and there is the little bourgeoisie. There's the false opposition party, and then there's the big bourgeoisie party. The assertion by most analysts or whatever is that the Democrats are the good guys. They're fighting for change, or whatever, like, whatever, how small it is or whatever.
They're not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they represent.
That's obviously not true, but I know what you mean.
That's not true.
That's like what people like Bosch would take the position of,
Yeah, that's what most, like, if you took the average person, they would say that the Democrats are the party of, like, progress and, like, doing, like, good things.
But they're actually the big bourgeois party is sort of what I'm saying.
The national bourgeois, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
they're
the national bourgeois. No, they're the international bourgeois.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. The Democrats are international finance capital. They're the big bourgeois. They're the big dude. I mean, of course, they're both bad or whatever.
I'm not sure.
And Ben Norton even said this. And Ben Norton even said this in the video, where he said that.
I think I clipped that. Let's might as well watch that then. Let me see if I can remember the name.
Where he said that the main conflict right now is between the national bourgeoisie and the international.
I got the clip. Let's just watch the clip because we were referencing it in the video. So, just to confirm, Ben Norton actually said this. We're watching the beautiful boat people clip. Okay, Zolo.
Yes.
All right, I'm starting now because this takes forever. Let me just close some tabs. Maybe.
Use X2.
Use X2.
People living in these gated communities
bourgeois
in
and financial bourgeois.
The
Perfect.
small business
That's exactly what it is.
who exploit
That's exactly what it is.
and have like boats or whatever. The people is what you call them.
And of course,
we're not talking about working class.
neither is we're supported.
Honestly, if you want to look at the class conflict
Of course,
between
neither
Republicans
is
and Democrats,
we're
it is largely a
So I don't like MAGA.
It is largely a conflict between the national bourgeoisie elements in the United States
and unwise, and I think
and
it's
obviously both are enemies of socialism, especially in the context of an empire. Trump's
I
base
think
are largely
it's
those national bourgeois construction elements,
only
petty bourgeois
good
elements, and then of course behind Democrats you have
for
financial
shock
capital, you have Silicon
value.
Valley. Both parties are
Like,
thoroughly
there's no
capitalist,
substance
neoliberal,
to it.
imperialist parties. And Trump
And
himself
I
governed
think
as a complete
it's-
neoliberal and as a complete imperialist. Not only did he wage an economic war in Venezuela, killing
I
thousands of
get
Venezuelans with
what it's trying to do, but at the same time, I don't like what it's trying to do, sort of. But I also get that they think it's necessary to do these sort of shock, whatever shit, the shock shit.
I'm not sure about that.
It's just so pointless, though.
Yeah.
It gets engagement, man. You wouldn't. Do you guys know who Stephen Estrada was?
No, I don't actually.
He was a guy who ran for He ran for office in Long Beach.
That's where Digi grew up, right?
Yeah.
That's where Digi grew up.
It's right around where Jackson is too. So
wait, no,
I don't know.
Oh, Long Beach, California. Never mind.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he got expelled for, but he got expelled for.
Given what we found out, it's been like.
This is the problem, though. Like, Jackson
things.
Hinkle is actually just an establishment figure, despite how, like, maybe things have changed. You said you weren't, like, completely familiar, but, like, he was literally running for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, he ran for the Democrats.
And now he's more, like, going to... Like, we could see in 2 years he's running for the Republican Party, because that seems like the type of guy he is.
I mean...
He's super young, too.
There's a lot of people who think he's going to be on Fox News soon. There's a lot of people who think he's going to.
Well, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign.
I'm not saying. Look,
that's like the Trotskyist.
I've always said.
That's like the Trotskyist.
Hinkle is not the dude who I would be saying is the intellectual mastermind.
Right. No, but I'm saying like it's part of like that whole Trotskyist and neocon like pipeline, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Are MAGA communist Trotskyists?
I don't really like.
Is that what they are?
What?
Can we say that MAGA communists are like Trotskyist lights or something?
No, they're not like Trotskyists.
Are you sure about that?
They're instead of watch my newspaper, read my newspaper journal, they're saying watch my live stream. That's just kind of my opinion. I don't know.
Nah, they're not like Trotskyists at all. Trotskyists would align with whatever's the most powerful, and NATO's Trotskyist, man. I don't even know what
you could argue that the national bourgeois that the Republican Party represents is more powerful than the international interests of the Democrats.
There's no one more anti-NATO than infrared. Nobody.
Are you sure about that?
Absolutely positive. Absolutely positive. I'd die on that hill. I would die. You cannot find me someone who's more anti-NATO. They're Duginists, for God's sakes.
Okay, let's not even bring Dugan in, because that's a whole
we do. We're debating Zolo. We have to bring up Dugan.
But that's fine.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You're right, Calliope. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Let's bring it up.
Dugan's. What's wrong with him? The Nazbol Party? Is that the thing?
Yeah, so that's what people have described Dugan, is that he is a third positionist. And has affiliation with that tendency.
The Nazbol Party emerged in the Russian 90s, and as we know...
A terrible decade, yes.
Yes, for the Russians. So people were looking to any sort of... and the National Bolsheviks actually are a historical thing. They're not like some weird J-Reg type. They're not like MAGA communism, like where it's like there were people who were quote National Bolsheviks or whatever in like Germany.
Whatever. But
they were denounced by Lenin.
Let's get to the main point.
They were denounced by Lenin, but they were real people. They were real people. And that's sort of like where that sort of that's the historical what National Bolshevism is, or where it comes from as a word and a thing, and the Eurasianism thing.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
No, I mean, like, I'm saying, like, let me see. I should look it up because it's like Eurasianism.
Yeah, please do. Go ahead.
Remain Lettuce
If we
says
have
that
a
Pat
better
Socks like
dis-
Trotskyists work within the bourgeois
Yeah.
structure as petty, as pretty much part of it in order to overthrow it. So they're literally Suzaku from Code Geass. And they're gonna fail.
Yeah. There's society
It
from
just
Code
doesn't
Geass.
work like that. You can't overthrow the system from
It does
within.
not
The
work.
Social Democrats
yeah,
have
no.
proved
Even
that.
Suzaku fucking failed at what he tried to do, like completely.
And like your defense of I guess Dugan is that like he isn't a third positionist, even though that's what a lot of people are going to accuse him of, which is just it's just not effective at all, and is literally being an asshole. Like you even had that in your Twitter. I think you were being ironic, but you did have like the Nazbol symbol in your Twitter header for like a quick minute.
Well, I thought, it was with Paul Moran.
Oh, that was a parody
Famous
of Paul
Nas-
Moran?
You sided
famous
with
Nazbol.
Paul Moran?
Yeah, well, remember they were upping the Connolly
You
house.
You were siding
Oh.
against Paul
Yeah.
Moran, right? Or I'm confused.
I'm with Paul Moran. He was Irish for Irish people.
You were with
there
Paul
were-
Moran? I don't know.
No. You have to be like within like the greater sphere of knowledge to sort of know what's going on here. Okay, so what happened in Ireland is there was this house or whatever, and there were Maoists, Irish Maoists, whatever, Paul's people were squatting in a house or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that house was actually reserved for Ukrainian refugees.
Oh my god, this
yeah.
is dabbling into so much right now. This could go into Yikes territory very quickly, Zolo.
Paul's group occupied the house that had the Ukrainian refugees, or was destined for the Ukrainian refugees.
Was Paul Moran actually there, or was he just talking about on the internet?
He was live streaming about it, and grifting, I guess, is what you could call it. If everyone's a grifter who live streams,
Yeah, even us. I will not deny.
We're definitely grifters. We are not above. That's the thing too. Is I want it to be known that like
I don't
everyone
think,
who it's like
so
trading,
many people are
guys.
virtue signaling about this that like. I mean, I think
It's
it is
like
problematic.
trading.
I think it is problematic that Jackson Hinkle is promoting gold and silver. I think that's really stupid.
Oh yeah,
And
that is
that
problematic.
That shows his like conservative tendencies, but like people are not above endorsements as well on the left because they do it all the time. I think even like Hakeem has sponsorships
we're
and
not.
like
Hakeem has we're not, but like we don't encourage that kind of shit.
Well, Coffin never takes endorsements, so
that's pretty based.
Well, what?
I know Empire Files, for example, doesn't even want to run ads on their channel, which is like mega
that's
based as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. We should I'm like that's what we should.
Honestly, I'm going to run
that's what
ads
we should
until my
strive
death,
for, but
and I just encourage you to install an ad blocker. That's all I recommend.
Encourage an ad blocker. Yeah.
Okay, so what happened with the Connolly house is what it was called. There were like two people, whatever, squatting in that house and whatever, and it was meant for Ukrainian refugees. And what happened after that? It was basically like I don't know how, but we spend it into we spend it into Paul Moran being an ethno-nationalist for Ireland. Irish houses for Irish people.
I see. So
what?
This is just too complex.
Wait.
This is just too much context that we need to establish. So I think we should just ignore this solo.
Yeah. And that's sort of why I made
internet
hold
drama.
on. Yeah, this is some weird.
That's why I made the meme with me and Paul chilling.
But like, one of the channel endorsements was Paul Moran, which also got taken down. But like, there are so many crazy Maoists that will literally worship Gonzalo in his Discord server that like I just can't have anything to do with him anymore.
Paul's a nice guy, but honestly, it's like at the same time he's like the inverse of infrared. Like you know how infrared is like nobody will ever influence me ever, no matter what.
I see your point. Yeah.
Whereas Paul was like, "Oh man, I don't know what to
I
do for
respect it. I
content."
respect
And
wanting to
then he
learn
got
from your
like
audience,
caught up in his 12-year-old
but
malice.
that's
the point where
understandable.
you take all your thought from your audience and then that is now your opinion, that's just crazy. Just have some critical reasoning and maybe say, I'm going to ban the Gonzalo lights today. They've stepped over the line because they clearly do every day.
They have. Yeah, they do. That's why we kick them.
And I don't know, camping out in a house for Ukrainian refugees, like obviously we don't support like NATO involvement in Ukraine, but refugees,
no, we don't support war.
I don't think that's much of an issue. I mean, like in general, it could be a huge issue, but in that specific situation, like they're just individuals. What's your problem?
Yeah, that's not like a collective like thing.
It's actually horrible optics too.
Yeah, it's really bad optics, and I'm like, for however I view the Russia-Ukraine conflict, I'm like, that's just bad optics. Like, I feel for everybody in the conflict, and I'm like, just like taking over like a Ukrainian like. I know they're probably bourgeois or petty bourgeois like Ukrainians, but like.
Yeah,
it's still bad optics. It's bad optics.
One thing that we were like, well, I don't know.
You know, it's bad
really
optics.
Should we really?
I mean, no, like I know, I get that, and I totally understand that position because I'm like the Ukrainian side right now is like fascist and it's like reactionary.
Yeah,
but that's because of the U.S. and NATO. No.
That's another thing though. Iris is wondering like how effective are infrared because you said they're anti-NATO, but like Trump is just as NATO as Biden, in my opinion. I mean, maybe Biden's more effective as a NATO leader.
He has been,
but
he's carried the same
Trump
foreign
expanded
policy.
the war on Yemen and supported apartheid Israel, so and waged economic war on a lot of South American countries. So like how exactly
and China as well.
And so how exactly is MAGA
Korea
communism? Just Korea? Is that it? Really?
Korea.
It wasn't. The deal didn't even go through because
Korea. It didn't even go through. It didn't even like materialize anything.
Like sure, maybe Trump wanted that to go through, but like he has people in his cabinet or like people he's affiliated with. I forget who was their name. Some lame ass old guy. But like he blocked it.
Oh,
and
they suck. A bunch of shitty
communism
people.
Isn't even like an effective political tendency when what was it?
See, but you keep equating MAGA communism with supporting Trump, and it's not really supposed to be that. Even though
America,
I know that.
No, hold on.
Even though I know
this is revisionism at its like finest, though.
But as much as you say that, like I've watched infrared videos, like I've seen them say like, "Oh, I don't support everything," but like at the end of the day, when you support this hashtag, people are going to run wild with it, and they're going to actually vote. And vote for. It's like the same thing Vosh does with Biden. Like Vosh obviously doesn't stand for everything Biden does. But at the end of the day, he's going to take the Biden position. And what does that mean for the people who listen to Vosh?
Working class people, for everyday people.
And what does that mean for the people that you can convince that don't care about this duopoly and aren't interested? It means they're put off by it. It's just bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think... I don't think it's a good slogan. That's the other thing,
it's terrible.
I know. I keep saying it is.
But you're the one who's like in support of this.
I'm saying I get what they're trying to do, but I don't really think it's gonna work.
So you don't agree with how they're doing it?
I don't agree with MAGA communism, no. I don't think it's... I think it's funny. I think it's a J-Reg type thing, but I don't think it's a serious thing.
So then you don't think it's a serious like political movement?
I don't think MAGA communism is... I do not think MAGA communism is a serious political movement. I do not think so.
If you say that, then like what about all the other directions that infrared has steered in? Like a lot of them haven't been as serious as well.
I would say the CPUSA. I would say the CPUSA thing is serious.
You think that initiative is serious?
Absolutely.
Is there like progress updates that you know about it?
That is the initiative. That is what we really want. like MAGA communism or whatever, that's just something to like farm engagement or whatever.
Do you think MAGA
CPUSA,
communism will help the CPUSA initiative at all, or no? Because you said you saw some use in it. So is that
Yeah.
your point? Is that
I
I
you
don't
think
think
think it will help.
I think it might help CPUSA in the sense that it's going to have to prepare. Prepare.
it's
It's
going to have
going
to
to have to.
prepare?
It's going to have to.
Do you think we'll see
Uh,
another? What is his name? I'll pull up the CPUSA
I guess
article.
there's.
I think it's going to have to. It's going to put them through more adversity, and it's going to make.
Do you think Joe Sims is going to write another article about MAGA communism eventually?
No,
No, you think he's done
no.
engaging at all?
He didn't. I don't think he ever wrote anything
Okay, I mean,
other
Well,
than
do
that
you think
statement, other than
his
that.
pen name will at least be used for another article? Because
My
wouldn't
God,
that be an
it's
effective
boring.
measurement of how, like, if Joe Sims feels the need to respond? Does that mean
We
that,
like Joe Sims, though. We like Joe Sims.
what?
Who?
When did this happen?
What do you
When did
mean
this
by
happen?
we?
We
Who do
love
you
Joe
mean by
Sims.
we? No.
We love Joe
Who do
Sims.
you mean by
Yes.
we?
Joe Sims is an infrared super soldier. You don't know that?
Since when?
Yes.
Since when?
Joe Sims is an
Who
infrared
is
super
Joe
soldier.
Sims?
Joe Sims is the current, like, I don't know what the term
Bro,
is, president.
have you not seen?
He's like a
have you
leader of
not
the
seen-
national committee of the CPUSA right now.
Have you not seen the infrared version of Joe
I
Sims?
don't watch infrared.
Well, you should be, but you know,
I've
have to start watching.
seen some of it and I was not impressed.
hmm
Yeah.
But anyway, you're gonna have to
No
start watching
offense.
infrared Joe Sims because infrared Joe Sims is next level.
What is this, like some Jimmy Dore impression of Joe Sims that comes
No,
up on the show?
Jimmy, it's infrared Joe Sims or
What?
Joe Sims.
I
in
actually
infrared.
have no idea what you're talking about, Joel. This sounds crazy.
I don't either. This is like going completely over my head. I'm like,
Because
I do
Joe
not
Sims
know who the
has
fuck this
actively
is.
taken a position against us, so I don't understand where he's an infrared
We love
super
Joe
soldier
Sims,
comes
though.
from.
We know why Joe Sims had to do it.
What?
He had to do it because Rosanna made
What?
him. Rosanna
Who?
made him.
Who is this? Like, we don't even have the identity of this person
Winter,
established.
let me cool down. Winter, cool down. This
Okay.
has to do
Rosanna
with
made him do
this
it.
has to do with the committee of the CPUSA. That's it. These are committee members of the CPUSA, so it's just like CPUSA politics. And Zolo is not making any sense at all about it.
Okay.
What do you mean?
All right. I'll be quiet.
What do you mean I'm not making sense at all? We love Joe Sims.
Oh my gosh.
Joe Sims gets it. Joe Sims understands that we want to run
Okay,
a
let's get
party
into
for the working
more
class.
things, because I feel like we've been talking about MAGA communism, why you don't support it, Zolo, but we got bigger issues, because I don't think you've ever distanced yourself from the patriotic socialist trend. So let's watch this clip of Ben Norden, National Liberation Struggles, because I think it's something you might be ignoring, and I've seen you ignore it, and you know, it's something that needs addressed, and I don't think patriotic socialism will address it properly. So, here's this clip loading.
What is it called?
It's called National Liberation Struggles.
That it's not just the struggle against capitalism, it's also a key part of the struggle against national oppression. And Lenin himself always emphasized in all of his writings up until his death, and when he founded the Comintern, that support for national liberation struggles always had to be at the same level as the struggle against capitalism. They are part of the same
Okay, I'm
struggle.
going to stop you right
And
here
that includes
because I
the
know
national
for a
liberation
fact we
struggles
have great support from the Chicanos because we have been in favor of annexing Mexico to give them back. We're going to give California back to Mexico. So the Chicanos are quite happy with us. The Black nationalists has had multiple discussions with Black nationalists before, and they've all been very positive interactions. There was one time or whatever on. In fact, I was on that space where Haas talked to Black nationalists and there was a person who came on before that who was a white person with black nationalism or whatever in his bio, which
Yeah,
has said
sounds
man, fuck, dude, you're cringe, bro. You're fucking cringe, bro. You're a white dude having black whatever nationalism or black nationalism supporter in your bio. We do not need black people do not need you. They do not want you. They do not need you. So
fair
this
enough.
idea that we are supposed to be if you think that we are not in solidarity with black nationalists and other occupied nations of the United States, you're completely wrong.
And I think a major
So I
point of
could get it.
contention was the like land back thing. Is Ben Norden in support of that general tendency? Because like
That's
I've
a
heard,
thing that's owned by Jeff Bezos.
yeah, that's the accusation, right? That land back is like like a corporation Jeff Bezos project. Is that a correct assessment of what people have
Yeah.
accused it of? Like the
Well,
Patriotic
it
Socialists
depends on who you
specifically.
talk. There's some people who believe, oh, it's a Malthusian plot or whatever. But the point is, it's basically whatever owned by Bezos, and it does not give sovereignty to the tribes of those affected people. It is
Okay,
trying to
so
create.
that's a big red flag.
Yeah. So I would say that, of course, I'm for, I'm for unleashing the productive forces of any tribe or whatever
The
they want to do with their land. If they don't want to do
nationalization
anything on it,
of
whatever,
their
it's their land.
resources. The
It's their land. We have plenty
nationalization
of
of their
land.
resources.
We have plenty of land. They can have,
I
enough.
also hear the general tendency of infrared is to invade Canada.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with
Invade
that
Canada.
too.
Invade Canada.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're
No,
doing that.
invade in
Isn't that a
general.
Oh
specific
yeah, we're doing
operation?
that.
Invade Canada.
Canada does not. Canada's not. You're not going to tell me Canada's real, are you? Quebec can stay. Canada cannot.
At one
Absolutely
point,
not.
I understand Canada,
Absolutely
but
not. Canada
at what
cannot
point does
stay.
MAGA communism invade Venezuela? At what point does that happen? I'm just wondering.
MAGA communism
Yeah.
is never going to be in power. MAGA
Oh.
communism is basically a thing to
Then
get
what's
engaged
the
with
point?
Twitter. CPUSA 2036. That's the
What's
real.
the point?
What's the point? The point is to get engagement, and we are getting engagement. The
Are
point
we
is,
in a good way, in a positive way?
what is good engagement? There is no good engagement in this attention economy.
There is.
I don't think so.
I mean, you can measure the engagement by how like effective it is. Click isn't necessarily conversion on that click.
But the thing is, like, how many people are you going to convert per interaction? And the other thing is, like, we know that I think of MAGA communism as trying to deterritorialize whatever communism is right now in the US and trying to, I don't know, radically upset the current structure that exists within people's minds of what communists are and how they appear to be.
So it's just
And I think
a framing
a
framing device, sort of like a perspective change. And that's it.
Yeah. It's not a political. We do not support. They may, God, I hate when they do this, but there are times where they'll be like, "Oh, Thomas Massey, whatever, he supported whatever, this whatever thing or whatever that was to the left of AOC or whatever."
No, you're
it's
in
like,
a very.
Oh my God, I hate when they do this, but they are technically correct when they do that.
You're in a very advantageous point. That's all. Yes.
And the other thing is, like,
but I'm like,
get what they're
that's
trying
not
to
for
do.
no
They're
reason.
trying to pressure AOC to go to the left, right? Because like, oh man, Thomas Massey Thomas Massey is a more effective anti-imperialist
I see you
than
didn't
AOC.
understand my point, but go on.
Okay. But like, that's sort of like, that's like the idea. Like, Jackson's sort of whatever. One of the things that, like, I mean, he got arrested for whatever, being at the Capitol for Medicare for all or whatever. Um,
I see.
that's one thing that, we'd like to see AOC fight for, you know?
I mean, that
You
feels like
won't.
something she was on the platform for and then forgot about. Yeah.
I mean, Jackson, that's why he got arrested. Is like he was. I don't remember all the details or whatever, but it
Right,
was
that's a
something for
problem.
Medicare for all. But it was like basically that AOC didn't live up to her whatever platform promises, and which I mean, of course, she didn't.
No,
You know,
none of them
like
did.
any politician, and that's the other thing too is like with this MAGA thing or whatever. That's the thing is, no bourgeois party is going to fulfill anything.
No, they
That's
won't.
why CPUSA 2036 is the plan. Communist
But
MAGA, whatever. That's just some
isn't
bullshit.
2036?
isn't this like this is a horrible initiative though? Because Haas has already gone on
Yeah,
record saying
no.
his plan is to destroy the left, and he said he's not a
Yeah.
rightist either. But like, where does that leave you?
Yeah.
You destroy the left, and that's where
Yeah, if you destroy the left, all you have left is the right.
that's where Ben Norden got into. I don't know if we should watch that clip next, but he got into. I could just describe it, but he said that like this syndicate or this syncretic politics is a tendency of fascism where you destroy the left and
it
use
just
that
helps the
opportunity
right
to input
But isn't that
fascist
Democrat
policies.
psychosis also?
No,
I mean,
quite.
Yeah.
sort
Sort
of,
of.
I guess.
Sort of. Okay, no, sort of. Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
No, but it's like it's not quite the same.
Yeah, it kind of is. But I mean, I get it too. It's
I mean,
also
you're
scary
kinda,
because it is new.
You're kind of throwing the
is
baby
new.
out with
It
the
is new.
bathwater. Is the MAGA communism is
Yeah.
throwing the baby out with the
Yeah,
bathwater?
right.
To like
Yeah.
to distance ourselves from the fascism of Biden, we're going to destroy the left in the CPUSA. That is just completely insane.
No, we're not going to
Yeah,
destroy
that's
CPUSA.
totally whack.
We're not
Yeah.
going to destroy. We're going
How
to.
do you know this initiative hasn't succeeded yet? And like, what are the records of its success? Like, clear. I don't think there's been a single.
It's never succeeded.
I don't
It's
think there's
never
been a single
succeeded.
person elected to the national committee yet who is a infrared leader, or are
Well,
they
we're not
just
supposed
secret
to
yet?
reveal
Are they
our
just
support
secret
yet.
so far?
No, okay, we're not supposed to reveal ourselves. I know we're not supposed to reveal ourselves. I don't reveal myself, but in like,
And
what
not
are
to
you
mention,
saying?
not to mention, what does it mean to agree with infrared? Do I agree with the character that is infrared, or do I agree with the infrared that I see in my own head?
Okay,
I mean, at this point, like I said, like before, it is a horde now because Haas has been banned from Twitter, so everyone is free to engage with hashtags like MAGA Communism in their own respective way, which I'd argue is bad. The fact that more people, because of Haas, are engaging with MAGA is just a waste of time and a distraction. Even if you get more engagement, the engagement's going nowhere. It's literally going back to these clout chasers who will show up on Fox News
heads
and
back
say,
to reactionary politics.
This is progress. This is advancing
It falls
the
back
cause
to reactionary
of quote unquote
forces.
destroying the left. It's pointless.
Do you think?
It falls back to
Do
reactionary
you think
forces.
NATO, the
Yes.
pro-NATO left, the
The
pro-NATO left?
pro-NATO left? No, there is like no pro-NATO
There is a
left.
pro-NATO left.
No,
There
they
is,
are
yes.
right wing.
They are a pro-NATO. There is a
No,
pro-NATO
they're
left.
right wing.
There is a pro-NATO left.
I mean, that's
and
a
you need to
no,
accept
technicality.
they're right wing.
I don't.
You need to
That's kind of a
accept that.
technicality. I mean, we know the
Okay,
duopoly is
fair enough.
capitalist imperialist, but they do
Yeah.
self-describe
And,
themselves.
okay,
as
no,
such.
but I'm
This
like,
idea
that
that- this
doesn't
idea
really
that-
still help.
This idea that we cannot like whatever take no sides or whatever. I get that. Like, I wish things were so easy and so clear
Yeah.
that we could just not take sides and say, and whatever, like, but there is a pro-NATO left. So this idea that, like, when we say the left, we're going to destroy the left, we mean the pro-NATO left. We mean the pro-NATO. Like, we mean the pro-NATO left. Okay? Because that is the left that we are talking about. We are talking about the left that is the Western left. Okay? Like, the Western left is fucking white chauvinist fucking.
Yes, it is white
Bullshit.
chauvinist. It's,
So I don't
that's
understand why
awful.
that's so ridiculous to have as an ambition when, like, we have. I mean, I just don't even understand, like, what
The problem is that you're cozying up to Tucker Carlson and then saying the same like, we'll destroy the left to cozy up to Tucker Carlson. Like, I could buy that this is maybe a genuine attempt to destroy the NATO pro-left. If it wasn't for this next step where we will now associate with white nationalists, I would buy that. If it wasn't for this next step that has gone too far. Like, that's kind of stepping
Yeah,
over the
if
line
it
at
wasn't
that
for
point.
the white nationalism stuff, I could buy this. Yes.
You're siding against the pro-NATO left by allying with pro-NATO rightists. And that's dumb.
No,
Like,
no, that's true. That's true. That's true. I'll give you that. I'm not saying there's
That's
a
the
right
issue
side.
here, Zolo.
Okay, but that's the thing is like when there are like what are the two poles right now?
yeah.
You know, I mean that's
What
the
do you mean by
problem.
that?
I mean,
No,
like I
no,
said
be
earlier,
specific.
like I said earlier, it would be nice if things were so easy that we could just say, well, they're both they're both evil parties who
No,
shouldn't
no,
really.
no, no. There's like specific reasons for this.
I mean,
No,
you say it's so easy, but like,
yeah.
isn't it the correct way? I mean, let's just take Ben Norden for example. Like, he pointed out in his live stream that he's never voted for either party, which is honestly what I've done in my life.
Yeah.
And
Do you think Chris Smalls was wrong to go on Tucker Carlson?
who's that? I'm sorry, I don't know.
The
What?
Amazon Labor Union.
Who?
The Amazon Labor Organizer.
I know, but like, I think you're trying to like
No,
distract from the point.
I'm trying to
No,
get
you're
an
trying
idea
to
of
distract
what's.
from the point.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to understand if you think, you know,
I mean, I
if
don't think
you
it's
think-
bad to like try to show up on Fox News. Just
That's what I'm
did Bernie
saying, is
Sanders get
you
interviewed
think-
on Fox News? Like, didn't one of his debates happen
yeah,
there?
that's sort of what I'm trying to say here is.
But
He
the
did.
thing is, Jackson
If
Hinkle was
people
trying
get-
to agree with Tucker Carlson, like on multiple points.
Yeah, he was trying to agree with him on Russia, which I mean, for whatever you want to give Tucker Carlson or whatever, he's right about Russia.
No, wait. Oh shit! Now you've opened a huge
he
can
not-
of worms.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the
Now
thing,
you've
though.
really fucked up.
They're right
You
and all
really
the wrong,
fucked
for
up.
all the wrong reasons. They're right for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
but
right
they're
for all
right.
the wrong reasons. No,
Like
they're wrong.
the clock that's broken strikes right, like what, twice a day, right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
cut his person twice a day is like right, like 2 times out of like
And-
whatever.
So you can't say like, oh, he should agree with Tucker Carlson
Yeah.
on Russia when it's just pointless.
No,
They-
yeah. Tucker
No, I mean,
Carlson
people
has
are
a
going to
false
interpret it
narrative
differently.
going.
I think this is like a case of lefty neuroticism.
No,
You see
I don't
Tuck-
think
yes,
it is.
it is. Yes, it is.
No,
You see
it's
Tucker
not.
Carlson.
No,
You
it's
see Tucker
not.
Carlson, and you immediately think he's a bad dude, and he
No,
cannot
that's
be
not
right.
what I
He
think.
cannot be right because if
No,
he's right,
Zolo, you've
then
already
I am-
failed. You've already
how have I
failed.
failed?
No,
How? I'm
'cause
saying that.
I know what Tucker Carlson thinks because I hear it every day.
Why is that?
Because my parents listen to him.
You let them?
What? What do you mean? I
Stop
let them?
I don't
Like,
know if there's much
I
you could
have
do about
power over my parents.
And I mean,
like,
I don't know. I feel like you got
my
to get lower and
parents-
deeper
Winter,
into the
Winter,
masses.
did you at least
You
make
got to
them
get
watch
lower
the
and
Jackson
deeper
Hinkle
into the
clip?
masses.
I
You got to
have
get
not,
lower and
no.
deeper into the masses. Got to tell them you're watching a white supremacist, Dad. It's time to turn it
Zolo,
off.
have you done
Time
that?
to turn it off.
Yeah, have you
Zolo,
done
I
that
mean,
with your
my-
parents?
Have you done that? Yeah, have you done that?
I don't have a problem with Tucker Carlson.
No,
Wait,
no.
so you wouldn't do it?
What?
You wouldn't do it? What is the
What?
logic?
It's not like that. I'm not gonna- I'm not
No,
gonna
yo,
try and
you
tell them.
actually
you went from
have
Winter to
fucking,
try
like,
to force his parents to like not listen to white nationalists to be like, I would let them do it.
I'm saying if he's
But yeah, no,
He's-
you just said I
think
would let them do it, and it's like, no, you fucking failed yourself, Zolo.
no,
here.
I don't think
No,
Tucker
you
Carlson
have.
is a white nationalist.
What?
I think he has sentiments that are white nationalists.
Oh
I think he has
my
sentiments
Okay,
that are
God.
white
okay.
nationalists.
Oh.
Wait, we can say he's not a white nationalist, but he's racist, okay?
He's implied. He's basically a white nationalist, but
I mean,
he's not a white
he's
nationalist.
definitely
Oh my
aligned with some
God.
racist
No,
tendencies.
I'm like, Zolo, you have
Specifically against
expressed
immigrants.
yourself to like specifically like bad stuff right now. Like you
But
have
he
failed.
is a white nationalist, but he's
Yes,
like,
he is.
He's not going to. He's
Oh
not
my
going
God,
to.
you admit he's a white nationalist.
He's
Holy
but he's a
shit,
small,
Zolo.
look, bro. He's not gonna like. Look,
No,
He's a white
Zolo, you have
nationalist in the
fucking
sense-
compromised
He's a
yourself.
white nationalist in the
hear him
same
out.
sense that Joe Biden
Backtrack
is.
these
Okay.
contradictions. Backtrack the
Alright.
contradictions.
Go ahead.
He's a white nationalist
Say
in the
whatever.
same sense that Joe Biden is.
What?
He's
Go
a
on.
bourgeois pundit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He serves the bourgeois. He's not
Right.
going to. I'm not going to like whatever get in my parents' faces for consuming media that I find problematic and that I disagree with. If you really think Tucker Carlson being a white nationalist is that big of a deal that you think people shouldn't be consuming him within your immediate family, you should be confronting that if you feel it's that big of a deal. I don't feel
It
it's that
is.
big of a deal. I
What?
don't.
Why not?
Because I trust my family to not believe in the extreme messages that
I
he puts
don't.
forward. Because I love my mom
I
and I
do
trust
too.
her.
Okay, I
Yeah,
can respect that, but I also don't think the same way for my immediate
No,
family.
I
I do
don't.
not believe
Yeah,
in their
no, I
capability to
completely agree
separate
with
the message.
Calliope.
I think the propaganda is
no.
that bad.
I completely agree with Calliope.
And I get that. A lot of people are that way.
I'm
and it's-
adopted, so like, yeah.
Like the propaganda goes deep, and even if they don't say it out loud, I don't know. Like I've heard people who watch Fox News and they will literally whisper under their breath every time they see a Mexican, like something like, "Oh, those
Yep.
damn illegals," and it's like,
Yep.
what the hell's your
All
problem?
those damn illegals. Yeah,
I hear that
they
all
will.
the time.
No, they do. I hear it all the time too. Yeah.
And they
Exactly.
watch Tucker Carlson, and no
Yep.
joke.
They watch Tucker Carlson. That's what fucks them up. Yeah.
And we see these figures like Jackson Hinkle who are clout chasers. I don't know
Yeah.
how their stance has changed, but in 2019 they were
Taylism.
trying to win a
Taylism.
city council seat and try to address the problems of homelessness.
It's taylism.
It's
Taylism.
it's just
Yeah.
it's just horrible. It's the wrong approach to politics.
Yeah. It's taylism.
So you don't think communists should go on Tucker Carlson?
I think they can go on Tucker Carlson and completely disagree with him, or at least like not
So he should have
engage.
said. So he should have said Ukraine was just. So he should have sided with Ukraine just to.
No,
he should have
absolutely
taken
not.
a clear
Absolutely
stance
not.
of why he thought but like okay, the
He
specific
did.
example
He
brought
called
up
Nazis.
the
Of the
specific
genocide.
example
Ukraine
brought up.
Nazis. He called Ukraine Nazis. I don't know how you could ask him to do better. He called Ukraine Nazis.
Sure, I mean,
Joe Biden's a war criminal. Maybe that's the problem. He called Biden a war criminal. Oh man,
He
No.
is.
the problem is like
yeah, he is.
he spoke
But he
specifically
agreed
in a
with
way
Tucker.
that Tucker
He
Carlson would
agreed with
speak, where he
Tucker.
blamed the main
Yeah, no, where
main
Tucker
problem as
Carlson
George
agreed with
Soros. And
him.
if you bring up George
Yeah.
Soros, and that's the only multi-billionaire you bring up, if that's the only
Yeah.
guy, that's such a like a right-wing talking point that like Tucker
Yeah,
Carlson
that's
is
such a
fun
right-wing
socialist.
talking point.
He could have brought up anyone
Yeah.
else, and
He
might
could have
would've
brought up
been
like
better.
Zelensky himself. He could have brought up
Yeah,
Zelensky
He did bring up
himself.
Zelensky.
Did he?
Yeah, he
Yes,
brought up
really?
Zelensky. He brought up
He called
Zelensky.
Zelensky
Winter.
a dictator.
Like
He did
as
great.
a Nazi?
He did great.
Yeah,
He did great.
He did do that, Winter.
He called Zelensky a dictator. I mean, they
He was.
banned
Yeah.
unions. They banned unions in Ukraine.
wasn't-
They also banned
Oh,
all
he
the
banned-
communist and socialist parties.
It wasn't
Yeah.
the worst, but like I don't think it's like the best approach. I mean,
I
I guess
get
if
it.
it's
I get it. You
No,
don't
I
like
guess,
the
I guess if he was
obsequiousness.
trying, if his future appearances, like if he becomes a regular guest, I would expect more. I would expect a lot more of his own input that is against Tucker Carlson. Like I would expect him to disagree in the future. But for his first appearance,
show why
he
Tucker
was
Carlson's
trying
wrong.
to agree. He was trying to be an agreeable,
But he was. We were
conservative
talking.
light figure.
Yeah,
we were
he
talking
did.
about. I mean, like I said earlier,
No,
You know,
I'm like,
I
no,
don't
no.
like-
Yeah.
I don't like Tucker Carlson, but his position on Russia, right or wrong reasons, for whatever he has them, he has.
But like, it's right for the wrong reasons. That's the issue.
I'm not saying it's
That's
right,
the
though. I'm not-
problem. No, but I'm like, that's the problem in the
He
first
calls,
place.
he calls Zelensky a dictator, and he does call
I
them
mean,
Nazis.
it's good, but like their reasons are like
That's the
completely
problem.
misrepresenting Russia as like a
Yeah, they're
geopolitical
completely
power.
they're completely
Yeah, no,
misrepresenting
believe me,
Russia.
I know. The pro-Russian, anti-China crowd is the worst.
Oh
when it
yeah, no,
comes
they're
to
the worst. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just so we got that clear, they're terrible. Okay.
they're
Yeah,
terrible.
I do
Yeah,
not
no,
like-
they're awful.
there's nothing
yeah.
worse than an orthodox fucking LARPer.
Yeah, no,
If you've
we're
ever
not
met one.
that. Yeah,
But
but
like I
come
said,
on, like Zolo, like
I get the problem with appearing on Tucker Carlson or whatever. But the problem is, like, I mean, I wish if they would have asked him. I mean, the one issue. I mean, Zelensky is a dictator, right? We agree on
yes,
that.
he is. Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so
No, we can agree on that. Yeah,
I mean, and Hinkle, maybe he is a clout chaser. He's not
he
perfect.
is.
Yes, he's not perfect. No one is. But like that's and
So you're
I don't
admitting
know what
defeat,
him being on Tucker
which is
Carlson will
fine.
do. I don't know what it will
Not
do.
anything positive.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't think he can even funnel any people from Fox News
Yeah,
into his own YouTube
yeah.
channel. I don't think
I don't
I don't
think
think that's
he
how
can
it
do
works.
it.
I could be wrong. Maybe
Yeah.
the analytics say something
No,
else. But I
you
don't
could
feel
be. But I don't think like anyone watching Fox News now is going
The
to like,
weirdest
change
thing
their
about
mind.
Hinkle is his demographics actually align with Fox News because, like I said, he's a Jimmy Dore, whatever, basically like orbiter, and Jimmy Dore's audience is very old. And Jimmy
Yeah,
Dore's on
no,
Tucker
well,
Carlson a
it's
lot
very
too.
big, but like it doesn't have to do with what we're dealing with now.
But Jimmy Dore's on Tucker Carlson a lot. Do we think Jimmy Dore is? I mean,
No,
are we gonna go that? Because that's like
no, we're not. I'm
the K
talking
Hive.
about this
It's like K
specifically.
Hive. That's like
No, I'm talking about this specifically.
yeah. I think, like I said, I think Jackson's. He's young and whatever, and he's young. That's honestly all I can say. Is I mean,
But
he's like 20
that's
years
on
old.
him.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, like that's like we don't know
I
what he
know.
did.
No, I
We don't
know.
know what he did.
I'm young too. We're all young, but like it's just like you know, it, there's just that responsibility, I suppose, that you should like agree to like respect.
But what would he have? What should he have clacked back at Tucker Carlson for?
Everything?
Like well,
No, like
well,
everything.
like you said, okay. So I guess Calliope brought up that he brought up Soros, right?
Yeah, he
And
yeah,
did.
that's
Soros
like
is
the only like
in and of himself is a
bougie.
right wing dog whistle.
Yeah.
So I sort of get that.
Yeah, yeah.
I do get that, but that's sort of, and I'm not saying like whatever, that would resonate with Tucker's audience or whatever.
Are
So the
you
most
sure about
important thing,
that?
yes, Soros with
You're
Tucker. We're
sure?
talking about Tucker Carlson here. Like you said, he's a
Yeah, I know Tucker Carlson.
small
He's
R.
a
He's a
controversial figure.
small W. Like like Infrared has this thing like where it's like
Still,
that.
I'm like, I still don't think
Okay,
this.
but what I'm trying to say is like when I think of Tucker Carlson, I think of a small W, small N, white nationalist. Like it's
That's
not
not
whatever.
good. That's
Yes, but
very
I'm saying
bad.
that's like I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that's his orientation. He's not going to come out and say he's a white
I mean,
nationalist
Tucker Carlson, yeah, of course,
or
yeah.
whatever. But I'm just saying like he's a small W,
But
small
like,
N.
what he wants to achieve is not
But
like what
getting
we
on
want
that
to achieve.
platform is probably good.
No,
You don't think so? See, this is like what I
no,
was asking
no.
about.
We've fallen into the challenge now. Okay,
What
yeah,
about like Chris Smalls? Okay, he's a union organizer. Do you think him
yeah.
getting on?
Jeez, you really fall into like conflict with me now, and I'm like,
Who's Chris? Do you
Okay,
know who
I
Chris
got the
Smalls is?
Discord stuff up now, so I
yeah,
hope you appreciate
I
this.
understand Calliope.
Do you know who
It took
Chris Smalls
forever to
is?
transform. Okay, I'll be more engaged now with this conversation.
What?
But yeah, I think we
Honestly,
can move on from this. I think we got
yeah,
our point of contention across there. I don't really agree
yeah,
specifically with like you said, George Soros is like a clear right wing talking point. Him
yeah.
specifically,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
and
that was necessarily
Yeah,
good.
let's finish this. Yes.
so do you want to watch another clip or do we want to
Sure.
talk?
Yeah, I'm
All
down
right.
for another clip.
We'll just
I don't
watch
know if Solo
the
is.
backwardness
Solo,
of the Republican Party.
you ready?
Or do you want to watch one of your clips, Zolo? I don't know. The Midwestern Marxist, is that his name? Should we watch him?
Yeah, he's good.
Okay, let's just watch him.
Okay.
I don't know what this guy's about. Is he like actually like involved with infrared, or
No, they're not.
they're not?
They support.
Okay.
They're like me. They support infrared, but they're not going to like whatever go to bat for MAGA communism.
I am also not going to
Okay,
do
so
that.
this guy, Midwestern Marxist, is defending MAGA communism. Is this the point of this clip?
No, he's not defending it. He's more like just like saying, okay, so what could
And if you want to take
what good could come
part
out of
of
it?
what's
What
radical in
what
MAGA,
sort of messages can we
or
take
part of
from
what's
MAGA and put
ambiguous
them
enough
into
in
our
MAGA to
discoursive
make
messages
The
and
left wing
perhaps
here.
recruit
and use that
disenfranchised,
in your discursive
unaligned people?
approach.
Well,
you know.
like that's like the big problem in general.
And see, the thing is, like, the biggest problem with MAGA communism or whatever, and honestly, I think MAGA communism is sort of a bad way of phrasing it because I think what they're really trying to express is populist communism. Okay, but MAGA is a populist movement.
I don't know if I agree with you on populist communism.
Okay, but anyway, so
Okay,
That's
I'm gonna
fine.
I'm gonna
No.
start the clip. Okay, so let's just watch it.
Please do.
Hitting play.
And if
Yeah.
you want to take part of what's radical,
Oh, who's
in-
Midwestern Marxist? Is he Eddie or is he Carlos?
they're both Midwestern marks.
They're both. Oh,
Um,
they're both part of it. Okay, I did not know that.
in MAGA,
I don't
Eddie-
know.
Eddie is
or
the
part
TikTok
of what's
guy.
ambiguous.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that guy
Yep.
on the
Yeah,
right,
that wouldn't make sense.
he runs the Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
He runs the Twitter. And then there's another guy named Noah who's on here sometimes.
All right, so they're kind of a
Yeah.
collective like Weeb Revolution. Okay.
Yeah.
Enough in MAGA to make
See?
radical, and use that in your discursive approach to MAGA workers. That's absolutely fine. That is absolutely that's part of taking, the rational kernel of common sense and re-articulating it towards socialism,
Exactly.
right? So Trump
Taking the rational kernel
talked
of
about
common
pulling
sense
us
and
away from the wars,
re-articulating it towards
right?
socialism.
He didn't actually
Exactly.
do that, and he, involved us into more war. He stepped away from the Iran deal, and he was fierce against China. And most presidents are usually they back up from one thing, like Obama. He backed out from Cuba, and then they're hawks and other things. So, but you can take that slogan that most of the MAGA workers agree with,
But
no
I'm
more war,
like,
and
there's
reorient
a
it towards
challenge.
socialism
Yeah,
by
it should be
explaining
a
to
good
them why it
one,
is that
no?
the capitalist and if you want to
Okay.
take
So that was the clip.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I was just trying to be more like use it when you want to, I guess, for specific audiences. But that's like B tails the masses when necessary. Like that's all.
Yeah,
That's all I
it
understand from
is.
it.
How is that tailing the masses? That's meeting the masses where they're at.
No.
But
That's not
it's not
tailing.
meeting the masses where that. It's literally tailing them.
It's not. It's
How is it
them.
tailing?
Because
The people.
I really do think we're underestimating how many people we can reach that aren't involved. in the
Yeah,
duopoly.
no, I totally
think that is a
agree.
huge underestimation.
Yeah, no, it is. You're right.
I mean, would you disagree with that, Zolo? That like that's a huge majority of the masses that don't even care about this MAGA communism thing.
Most
so, like,
people don't
so
care
why even
about
tail
the
it?
election.
Why even tail it?
If most people don't care in the first place.
No one's tailing anything. Okay, that's the thing is I don't like.
But Infrared has specifically said that the Democratic, I don't know, what are they called? The Democratic Patriotic Socialists
The
are
Democrat
tailing.
Party.
The accusation is they are the ones tailing the Democratic Party. So like at least someone's tailing some group. How is MAGA communism any different?
No, you're
I mean,
right.
I told you
Does that
MAGA
make
communism.
sense?
I
You're
told you
right.
MAGA communism is a slogan for engagement. It's not a real political orientation. So,
But so is the Democrat, like so is like the Democratic Socialists with some of their slogans, right?
what is their slogan? Medicare.
Yeah, Medicare for all. Would that suffice? Or Do you not think so? Because we do hear like Joe Biden say like this is like a popular phrase. He said that we beat big pharma when he clearly didn't. Wouldn't that be like fall under like the umbrella of Medicare for all slogan? Like clearly not working out. We
I'm saying
clearly do not have Medicare for all right now. That's
and it's a good thing for engagement and whatever. And it's a popular slogan. Like Lukashenko had a good quote about slogans, which I think actually sort of fits this moment.
okay. While you're looking for that quote, what
There
are
is
you?
no revolution without slogans. A revolution needs slogans. But don't be mistaken. I've told you so many times before. I've told you so many times there is no revolution here because there are no revolutionaries. Those people that have fled our country and now stir up trouble via Telegram channels are living a good life over there. Those people that protest in the streets over here are the people I have created with my own hands. These people earn 5 to 6 times as much as a Google mesh.
Okay, do you want to spell that out?
They've tried to stage a small bourgeois revolution, but they are no revolutionaries because the revolutionaries of the past I've studied were ready for anything. They knew they could perish. They believed in it.
I think you cut out, Zolo. Did I cut out? Am I the issue of this connection? I think I might be. All right, guys, we're having connection issues. Seems to be my internet. Can the chat hear me? Hello, chat. The stream might have died.
He shouldn't take Daria's death seriously is really just kind of I don't think you understand.
I think you know what? Okay, I'm gonna just take a step back, and I think we should take it very seriously. I mean, I know what I said before. I said I don't think Infrared's taking it as seriously as he should, even though like he's probably one of the most vocal people about it.
He is taking it seriously.
I think his angle is sort of misguided, but he is taking it. He's trying his best to take it seriously, even if I disagree with it. But I do want to make the point though that like it's such a dangerous precedent that like a philosopher can be targeted and their death is worshipped. Like, what does that say about anyone else who has critical reasoning or thought? Like, it says you're a target. Isn't this like
exactly.
an actual thing?
That's sort of like what I'm trying to say.
Like neo-Nazis have, like they have like actual kill lists that you could visit on Google. Like a quick Google search could bring you up.
And that's why I was always so resistant to denounce Dugin, because it's always been something that's within these circles, leftist circles, will keep you from being accepted or whatever, liked, or even being tolerated or whatever. If you don't emphatically denounce him as whatever, a fascist or, and it's just like, we don't know Russian reality. Okay. And when we pretend to know it, we're just being Western chauvinists. When we pretend to know people's particularities and their circumstances more than they know it, that's just peak being Western. That's just peak Western liberal. That's like a nobilizing, like, I don't know, one thing that's like come out of this is whatever is calling wokeness white man's burden.
I'm not sure I agree. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying like that's sort of a rough whatever.
That like
okay.
I think just
no,
like,
this is fully on the West for like doing this. Like the NATO and like its allies did this conflict. I'm like, I don't think anyone would dispute that. There are people who would, but they're like Western chauvinists. But yeah.
Yeah, so we have a common enemy there. I mean, we could get into the bigger issue. Like, we obviously saw it happen to you firsthand, Zolo, and it's partially your fault. And also, you did it to yourself and accepted it, it seems. But you were on the Weeb Revolution server. You said you wouldn't back down from your stance on Dugin. you know, you were one of the first people to just stand up for this and die on that hill for at least that server.
Yeah, none of us did.
I don't know if that was the hill you want to die on. I guess it like in current events.
It's a hill I'm proud to die on.
Judging by
It's a
current
hill no one
events,
else would die on.
It seems.
It's a hill I'm proud to die on.
It seems like a lot of things happened, but
no one else would die on the hill.
I do think that's a little. I do think maybe canceling people because they came to a conclusion like that is just a bit extreme.
Right.
That's
fair. That's fair. But I'm like, hey, this is what Zolo chose.
There were also multiple other issues, like a whole indigenous thing, but whatever. I mean,
I support indigenous sovereignty, so.
Yeah, in your own way. Clearly, there's
a lot of
contention on what exactly that means. And you are white yourself, so maybe there's not much you can say on the subject. Just like you can't put black nationalists in your Twitter bio if you're white. Like,
do you want me? I support black nationalists, but I'm not going to put black nationalism supporter in my bio or whatever. I'm not going to cringe. You know,
I understand, but I'm like, you understand why we have like such a difference. Like,
we have a difference because you want to fit in with the left, and I don't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, then why did you not support Dugan?
So, you're like missing the point right now.
What is the point?
I do think we should bring that question up though, because like Dugan's become such a focal point of the Russo-Ukraine
and
war.
And Dugan's like not even
an
actual
assassination. He is a fringe political figure, but like the precedent it sets that a fringe political figure would be a target of a car bombing.
That's true.
Is a bit crazy.
No, that is actually kind of wild how that happened. Actually.
It's not wild. Anyone could see it coming.
Oh no, I totally saw it coming.
I would just give it to Zolo that he did see it coming. Like,
no, I'm like, I totally also saw it coming, but I'm like,
but you didn't care. You were just like, well, yeah, maybe if it happens.
No, I didn't. No, now you're antagonizing me. Why are you doing this?
You've been antagonizing me.
Why are you antagonizing me? Why are you doing this? You're like, you're alienating your ally. That's a poor choice.
And you do this a lot, Zolo, though. Is you're very
Zolo
aggressive. And for no reason. This is the whole, like, we need to destroy the left, and, like, why? Exactly. I mean, not everyone is a NATO pro-left people. In Weeb Revolution, there's hardly anyone like that. I mean, they have different stances, and you might disagree with them, but you don't have to get up in their faces and assume that, like they support NATO. They don't. They don't. They just have a different interpretation of how we get unity in the first place, which is something we are aiming for, is unity of the masses behind a socialist banner.
It is. Yeah,
but
it is.
There's different methods to get there. Like,
there's totally different methods to get there.
I just don't think you need to be so confrontational. And like, for a clout chaser like Haas and Infrared,
are you speaking to me or are you speaking to Haas?
He's speaking to you.
I'm speaking to you because you do follow in the coattails of Haas.
I feel like you're speaking to me through.
No,
I feel like you're speaking to Haas through me.
Calliope
because I'm not confrontational.
Calliope,
I'm not confrontational.
Is speaking to you.
People have.
Zolo.
I have been very.
Zolo. Calliope is speaking to you.
To most people.
No, Calliope is speaking to you.
I'm speaking to you specifically because you do get, like, I mean, it might not be intentioned, but it just does happen that sometimes you say something that someone takes personally. It happens. I don't know if it was with Winter right now. I really don't think it was that big of a deal. But, like, in the past, it's happened.
I don't know. Yeah, no. It wasn't with me. But I'm like, it's been a general thing. And it's like, that's why people have been so upset. It's been
I'm not in that server, so I don't know.
It's you know, it's old drama. I will say you've been a topical figure.
I don't care what people think of me there.
Fair enough.
I have no.
I mean, that's fine, Zolo.
I mean, if they want to be my friends,
I'm not mad at you.
I'm not mad at anyone either. I just think, you know, sometimes we want.
I just want you to understand. I just want you to understand is the thing. Like that's the big
Do you
deal.
think? Do you think? Um,
What?
that this was easy.
No, this was hard for me. Like this is not easy at all.
No, I mean, like, you know, I just think that's sort of the thing here is,
No, like Zolo,
we,
I don't have anything against you. I have no like.
Are you just saying that it's easy to like agree with like the leftist social sphere?
Yeah.
no, I'm saying, do you think it's easy to, you know, I don't know, say, I think Dugan's not, or I'm not even like, the thing is, it's just like,
I know. No, you're in
do
a
you think
very
what
weird
I'm good
spot.
for?
But I'm
Do you
like,
think what I've lost, um,
I
is
listen,
justified?
Zolo. I
And
want to
that's
be
okay
with
if you
you.
do. That's okay if you do.
I want
Because
to
you
be
know,
with you.
sometimes
I don't.
when we are enemies,
I
we
don't
must
necessarily agree
recognize
with
I
you.
don't know if it's justified, but you kind of walked
Yeah.
into it.
how.
Yeah.
Whether
How is it justified?
I wouldn't argue it's justified. I would say that like you knew what was happening and you didn't take any steps to avoid it. And I mean,
Yeah.
you could say that's unjust, but like that's just what happens.
Yeah. It is. I mean, you're fair to take whatever position you take after that. Like, I am fucking fully willing to respect you and like give you your space for what it's
Exactly.
worth. No, I am,
And
but I'm
I
No,
like,
would
I know,
just
I know. I just think like this whole like idea that like you know, like I don't know, this whole situation or whatever, the CPUSA thing or whatever.
y'all, yeah, no, there was that whole situation that happened, and Clint and I kind of like had our line on it, and you had yours, but you know, it happens. But I'm like,
But I mean, I'm not angry at
I'm
you
still willing
guys.
to hear you out. Yeah,
I'm not
no,
angry at you guys. Okay. I just think that, you know, there's nothing wrong with taking the easier path.
I
You're
don't
not
want to
wrong
take
to
the
do it.
easier path. Yeah,
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
no, we don't hate you though. Like you're welcome here.
Mhm.
That's the thing. It was like you're still welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're a
Yeah.
friend.
People
Yeah.
have, yeah, that's sort of like what I'm trying to say is
No, but I'm like, no, you're welcome
people
here.
have been angry for some reason. And I don't
No,
really know
they
why
haven't.
because,
No, but I'm like, you're welcome
so
here.
did something
You're a
happen in
friend.
the server this week or something? Or,
No, no, no. I'm
no,
like,
not in the Weeb Revolution server really.
no.
I kind of just threw this out in left field, but like there was also a request they wanted someone wanted a reaction from you about this MAGA communism. So
Yeah,
I'm glad to
they
hear that
did.
you're like very against it because it's really
Yeah,
dumb. I'm glad to hear.
it is
I mean,
really
you see the
dumb.
uses of it, but like it's almost like a
It's
step
super
backwards.
stupid.
Would you say that?
Yeah, it is.
Or
I
no?
would
Or
agree with
do you think
it.
it is
It's a
useful?
bag. I
Do you
think
still
it's
think it's
stupid.
useful?
What do you think,
I
Solo?
think it's got utility and I don't love it. But I mean, it's not, infrared is completely out of my hands. I have no control
Yeah,
over
I
it.
mean,
I have no
yeah,
control.
No,
you
you
clearly
I
don't.
have
don't.
Yeah,
no control over it
you
and
don't.
nothing at all.
But
So
No,
I
you
don't
do
even know
align
what to
yourself
say.
multiple times with it, so
yeah,
it's
you have.
I mean, I do because I think there's
All
mostly
right, no,
correct.
but I'm like, there's no beef between us. That's what I would say.
all right. I
It's
feel like we
fine.
Yeah,
could maybe start wrapping this up because this got more into like personal stuff, and
Yeah,
so people see
yeah,
where we lie
Calliope's
now.
great.
If any,
Yeah,
to
no,
answer any like
like
audience
Calliope
questions
and
or
like Calliope and I have a certain line we like stand to. Um, that's just our like that's how we view the world. You know, if you hear differently, that's up to you. You know, but I'm like Calliope and I do kind of have like a singular like worldview. That's what I would say.
I'm sometimes
Sometimes, most of the
we're
time.
not the Borg Winter. I'm sorry.
We're not the Borg. No, we're not.
Like we'll
But,
argue
like,
over fate waifus. Like you're putting
yes,
Sakura.
we
I'll take Rin's the best waifu. No debate.
I
You
fully
lose.
accept that. I'm fine with that. But it's and we're different. But I'm like, I'm fine that I'm the minority opinion.
Was our real
Like,
break,
George.
Zolo? Or your take on Heaven's Feel? Was that the real break?
Ugh. Yeah, that was really bad. Oh
I
my
can't even
god.
remember that. I can't even
Oh,
remember
that was so bad. Oh my god.
You at least remember Eminem's takes.
It was Zolo and Eminem, and Eminem was insane. Like, Eminem was like, no, it's all about Shiro. And I'm like, what the fuck
I'm
are
sorry,
you
one man
talking
cast.
about?
I warned people that this might not be the most productive use of time. I warned people.
Yeah,
It was
this might
fun.
not be. But I'm like, oh my god, no, we lost our mind with Eminem. Like, he fucking lost his mind. Like, for real. Like, he fucking lost it. And I was like, I don't even know how to fix this. I'm like, you're canceled. Oh my god.
Oh, I do realize
Oh,
that one man
man.
cast is anti-anime. I take back everything I said about them.
Yeah, that was the one man, like, cast. But I'm like, no, you're canceled. Fuck off. Like, you lost your
Anti-anime
privilege.
people are canceled. Was that
Yes,
not
they
the
are.
position you once took, Zolo? You were more hardlined on anime.
Yeah, that was true.
What happened? You backed down from the hardline anime stances because you know that people
Yeah.
will cancel you for anime, and I feel like the
Yeah.
hardline anime is what made you Zolo.
What do you mean? I'm still hardline anime.
You still are.
Are you?
I'm still posting anime on my timeline and whatever.
Okay.
Uh,
I just remember
I just
there
don't
being
post
like
in Discord.
hardline stances.
I just don't use Discord anymore because it's like, I don't know, none of my friends are on there anymore. So
I mean, we're on there.
yeah, but you're never like around.
I don't
Yeah,
post
but you're
stuff.
like never.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're in
post stuff.
multiple servers, Winter, that you just don't post in.
I don't post stuff.
We're in the stream
That's okay.
here. I mean, I feel like we fizzled out on the actual topic. So, all right, see
We
everybody.
do. Yeah,
All right, later.
I'm like around, but
All right.
yeah.
If anyone has further topics you want to discuss with me, I mean, you can at me in Weeb Revolution. You know, maybe
Honestly,
maybe we didn't go hard enough
I'll
on this
message
topic.
you.
But I feel like everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I don't feel like this is like the most harmful thing that's ever
a
happened.
good debate.
Obviously,
yeah.
Zolo, he's not Haas, which is
Zolo's
a more controversial figure. Who does do things just for pure engagement. So like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
here.
I'm not for MAGA communism. I mean, or I get what it's used for, but I mean, I see that it's really stupid. But it's like it's one of those things where it's like it's so stupid, it's useful, or
I'm
it has
around.
its uses or whatever. It's whatever.